realizes it wants to go live. There you go.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Here we are, high in the Highlands, live with Neve. We're going to introduce our guest, John Spear. We'll be talking to him a little bit about Halloween, and we're going to be talking about Frank Zappa. We're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff today. I'm not sure what happened. I woke up this morning, and here I am. I look like the king of all media, Howard Stern. Howie, if you're watching out there, come on down. I want to interview, and you'd get I don't know. We want to get Julian a Sybian for her own personal use, and I think you can afford to pay for it. There you go, Jules. I'm talking to Howie for you.
Oh my God, no! Oh my gosh! You know, even that hair. You mentioned Spinal Tap, and that's definitely true. But then I just had another flash, and I can't remember who it is. Oh, Slash.
Yeah, I got a Slash thing going on.
I remind the rhyming thing.
Hold on, we're going to go for the Slash effect.
Oh God, don't do that.
It's out of tune dreadfully, of course, but we get the whole Slash thing going on here. So, people watching, I hope there's some new folks. I hope there's some old folks. I hope there's some folks who are in between. You're on Live with Neve, and we're going to be talking about, I love it. Mandy's commenting that I look like Cher. Well, I'd have to show you my lady bits to prove it. What do you think, John? Do I make an ugly woman or what?
Yeah, I hear that.
Hey, big boy, where are you taking your load?
I'm in a little town called Lakeland, Florida.
There any lot lizards down there? John, have you got any lot lizards chasing your truck today? I think we're locked up.
John froze up again. I don't know.
Hey, John, you're locked up.
Are you there, John? We can still hear you, I think. Can you talk?
He's got the lockjaw thing on. I'm going to pull him offline for a second, Julie, while you try and get him on.
Well, I think he is on, so give me 1 second here. There he goes.
Okay. Can you hear me, John?
Yep, there he is.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you froze up for a little bit.
That's fine. So tell me, in Lakeland, Florida, have you had any lot lizard activity? Have they been following your truck, or what are you delivering today anyway?
No, they don't bother me too much. You know, you get old, they ain't got no use for you.
Well, I'm old, and I figure I can, still afford to get the old dog out of the house once in a while. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm going into the gutter already. It's early. Truth is, everybody out there in Radio Land, I'm looking out. New York's disappeared. It's off there in the fog. You've got like 40 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts from the nor'easter. And for all I know, that's this poltergeist stuff that John's bringing. You're sending us bad things, man. They're here messing with our show again.
No, is it possible for there to be Is it possible for there to be a spirit attached to you?
Every time I come on, them spirits mess with.
I don't want to mess with them. I'm joking because I've had many jokes about myself being possessed, as we've joked about before. In my case, they seem to come and go. I'm usually a good dude, but occasionally that old devil's talking in my ear. So tell me, John, I'm sorry. Are you getting a lot of people calling in about Halloween and asking you is your workload improved or increased rather?
Yeah, we was going to do 3 things the other day, but the hurricane come in and ruined all that.
Wow.
So that sucks.
So they don't like bad weather.
Are you able
apparently.
to do anything?
Yeah, we was going to do a couple of things on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and hurricane cut us off, so we just had to spend the night in a hotel, and when the hurricane passed, it was too late.
Wow. Well, are you feeling, how is it down in Florida today? Is the weather nice?
Yeah, it's real nice and hot down here where I'm at.
Okay, great. Well, that's nice. We have this horrendous nor'easter, as I mentioned, and I don't know. It's not going to get better. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some kind of thing. So Tell me this, typically at Halloween, do you have manifestations increase? Is it something that you kind of look forward to every Halloween?
Yeah, they increase mainly around this time because everybody talks about them, and when you recognize the spirit world and talk to the spirit world and all that, it gives it energy and it starts manifesting a lot more than when people ignore it.
Great. Well, the thing is, I think a lot of people, it might be the time of year where they just actually notice something like this. I mean, people are so self-absorbed these days. I'm of the mind that if you're sitting there like this, the average person sitting there and they're in their phone all day, and you could have a ghostly apparition right next to you, sitting there about to clonk you with something, and they'd just be sitting there looking at their phone. Oh, I got to tell you about my new boyfriend. Oh, he's just so hunky. He's almost as hunky as Howard.
Yeah, I've been in restaurants, families sitting together, and everyone on their own phone. No conversation, no nothing.
Yep, people just sit on there and they chat weird stuff, and God only knows where it'll all end. I think they'll get the chip in their head.
Yeah, one day. One day
Better
we'll have
them than me.
telephones in our teeth or something.
Yeah. So, do you have any Halloween music favorites?
Oh yeah, I got a few. I do Purple People Eater from the old days, and then Metallica, Sandman, and all that. But some of the good stuff.
How about, do you ever hear the song Werewolves of London?
Oh yeah, Warren Zevon's really good.
I love Warren Zevon. He's definitely, he was a very underrated talent.
He is. He really is. I love it. Werewolves of London, Roland, the Headless Thompson Gunner, which a lot of people don't know nothing about that one.
Well, I guess I have a bunch of fans who like Warren Zevon, and I love them. Part of the yearly ZCon Fest here in the Northeast.
Oh,
Friend
really?
of mine.
I have to come up there one day.
Yeah, we're hoping to have it in Asbury Park next year. Excuse me. Ah, gosh. The show's
John,
live.
so for tomorrow, for Halloween, what do you have planned?
That all depends where my next load goes. I got 4 people wanting me to come by, but after I get empty, I got to wait to see where my next load goes so I can tell which one I'm coming by. So it'd be one or
okay,
one of
so,
4.
One of 4.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. So, which ones are they? Where are they?
I got one.
Are you at liberty to say, or?
No, I got one up around New Jersey way. I got one in Dallas, Texas, one in Houston, Texas, and one on Archer Avenue in Chicago.
So you're going to be on the road a little bit then, I guess.
Yeah, I do about 3,000 miles a week, but that's what gets me to where I can go to all these different states. The company I work for pays me to ghost hunt, I guess.
Well, if for any of my guests who are wondering what we're talking about, I'm talking with John Spear. He is a ghost hunter and demonologist, just a really interesting guy. And if you have any problems with any apparitions or something, reach out to us or reach out to John directly. John, how do people get a hold of you if they have some of these issues they need your attention?
They can email me at kinseyparanormal@yahoo.com. All inquiries will be answered. We'll do our best to get there as soon as possible.
For everybody who didn't hear that well, kinseyparanormal.com. John is the man to go for. I know we've talked about this before, John, but why don't we revisit? Let's talk about the 2 incidents that we've talked about. This show, when it airs on YouTube, which will be, this is just the raw show that we're doing live right now, but we're going to be adding pictures from your collection and various things that we're going to really flesh out the article, so to speak. Flesh it out, get it? Halloween joke number 1. Wow. Hey, look at that. I can even do the metal thing. Wow. What do you think of heavy metal, John?
I like some of it. Don't like a lot of it, but I like some of it. Love Ronnie James Dio. I think he's
all right.
Heavy metal.
Fucking Dio,
He
man. We
was like
love
the
him.
sweetest. He was the sweetest little Catholic Italian man. He always reminded me of
Yes.
my grandmother. I saw an interview with him, and he's like this. I mean, he was only like he was under 5 feet tall, and he was so sweet. He reminded me of my little Italian grandmother. I mean, he was
That's
just so
funny.
cute in this documentary. He was so welcoming to people, and he just loved people. And I mean, yeah, he was such a sweet guy.
He had an awesome voice, real awesome voice.
It's interesting.
Well,
We've
there's
got,
a band.
Go ahead, Julie.
Oh, well, I was going to tell you, there's a band local to Florida here. If you love Ronnie, they're called Against My Will, and it's a female led band, but their band and her voice sound like Dio. And I approached her after the first time I saw her. My band was playing with them, and I said, you know, you sound like Dio, like a female Dio. And she says, you know what? Everybody tells me that. Everybody tells me that I am the female Dio. I'm like, that's the coolest thing. So check them out, Against My Will, and they're a local Florida band.
That's cool. I'll have to check them out.
For them on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. They're a great band.
I might have to put them in the upcoming book about the Tampa Bay music scene. To be out probably about this time next year if we're lucky. And we're going to be talking to all kinds of musicians in the Tampa Bay area from 1960 till the present. We've got some great people coming up who I won't name right now, but I can just tell you we've got some really awesome shows coming up, talent-wise. I don't like to talk to people until we've signed an agreement or discussed it.
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
Right. Yeah, I'm at.
All right.
I
Hey,
said
Steve.
the other day I was at a book signing up in Nashville. Got to meet Peter Frampton, and he autographed my book for me. So
All right.
that was really good.
Right on.
I don't
We
know
like
if y'all
Peter.
remember Peter Frampton or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
My little girlfriend loves him so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
that she'd actually give me a kiss. She thought I looked like him in some weird way. I have no idea how, but it worked for me at the time, you know. You got to roll with it when you can get it where you can,
I was
you know.
surprised he was so
Oh
nice.
God. Yeah, there you go.
There
Keep
we
on
go.
rolling.
So I've noticed that we have a ghostly apparition that seems to come and go.
What is that? Dude, there's
Some
something
kind of
on you.
apparition biting my goddamn
What is that?
nose.
Ow.
Ow!
What is that?
It's some kind of ghostly
What the
apparition.
hell?
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah, man. Here we go.
Uh,
I use this in the subway because if people get in my way, I just get right up behind them and hold on. Goose. Goose. And in New York City,
It's
a
like
lot of times. What?
It's like hungry hippo. That's what it looks like from here.
It's hungry hippo, but it's a Florida hippo. It's a gator.
It's a gator.
Yeah, when I
There
get
you
in
go.
lines at truck stop and the line moving too slow, I just start coughing and sneezing, and I move right up to the front.
That's a good plan. I think
That's
I
great.
might try that one. That is a good plan.
So I see a bunch of people listening here. I've got, Steve Sala. Steve, I'm glad you're here, man. And if you could, anybody who's watching this, like it, share it, go to YouTube. And now we're going to go ahead. John's been so great to visit us, and we're going to be adding some more pictures and photos from his unique perspective. I reached out to him for everybody who's not sure of what we're doing and who we're talking to. John is a ghost hunter, and he works for Kinsey Paranormal. And this time of year, they're everywhere, and he's working hard. And we're glad he's a good friend of our show. And if you have any need for his services, you can reach me, or you can reach my evil twin, his name Coniel, or Kamel. He looks just like me, but he's got really short hair. And I've heard he's like a really weird guy. He just sort of lurks around in the shadows, and he's always watching. You just never know where he's going to appear. In fact, I hear somebody
But he's not
upstairs.
related to you at all. But he's not related to you at all.
No, but he's like a doppelganger.
Really?
It's amazing. You guys
No,
see this?
Colemeal,
I bet it
he
is.
scares me.
Neil, where you at?
Neil scares you?
Colemeal, Colemeal scares me to death. I wouldn't even investigate him.
You wouldn't investigate who?
Oh, there he is.
Colemeal?
Speaking of
Here
the
he
devil.
is. I'm back from beyond the grave. I've been wandering around, seeing some spirits, and at least I'm not drinking any. It's a hard thing with me, you know. I used to like my bourbon a little too much. That's all right. I'm now bourbon free. I'm vegan certified. I'm carnivore certified. I'm an ordained priest in the Church of the Subgenius. So here's the thing. If you want to get married this year, are you married, John? Your wife, are you guys married?
Oh, yeah.
Too bad. Maybe you can re-say your vows.
Years.
I can come down and give you a ceremony. Not quite as helpful as your services, but I can marry people. You have any kids you want to marry them? I mean, I got some friends who need, I have a couple of friends who have sisters and stuff they need to marry off.
Oh my God, what is this? 1900?
Oh, come on. What are you, in the temperance union? Next thing you know, you'll be out there in a big long dress.
Married.
Oh!
What do you think we should do with her, John?
What? In a dress? Oh my God, bite your tongue.
We're going to make you dress up like one of those women. What is that show where the women all dress up like Quakers?
Can't see Julie doing that.
I don't either. But I'll pay to see it. Come on, Julie, what's that show that about these women? They've all got the dress on like they're shaking Quakers, and it's like some big, it's something the the pro-women crowd just loves.
Is it a reality show?
No, it's like this weird, spooky show. The chicks are all there. It's a dystopian universe where it's basically just a big whorehouse.
Is this shit?
Gosh, that's killing me.
She has like a hood on. I know. She's got a hood on. It's like fairy tales, or not fairy tale. It's something.
Handmaid's Tale.
Yes. Oh.
It's the Handmaid's Tale. Like Mandy Lou for 20 points. Mandy is going to beautiful downtown Secaucus. Yes, you'll win an all-expense-paid trip to McDonald's. That's it. So, what do you think, Julie? We'll get dressed up in this handmaidens kind of thing and abuse you a little bit. I don't even know the show. To me, it just seems kind of silly. I don't know. Maybe I don't watch much television.
I
thank
could
God.
get into it.
It makes me too crazy, and I feel it like dumbs down most people, including myself, the more I watch. It's kind of like this big thing that vomits useless information into our lives 24/7. But hey, I'm part of that machine. I'm feeding that machine. How about anybody out there, you know? I see all of you here, and I'm glad you're here. And tell me, anybody out there, what is your most terrifying moment at Halloween? Anybody taking it? I see over here on the side. And I know there's a few of you out there watching. I can see the thousands of them are lined up around the block. So, before we let you go, John, tell me, have you ever heard of Frank Zappa?
Oh, yeah. I know Frank Zappa. He's one of the biggest influence in my music history because he started the band that I love more than anybody.
So you have a band. I noticed you have a drum kit in your house.
Yeah, I was in a band back in the 70s. I still play.
What kind of music did you play?
Well, now they call it classic rock, but back then it was brand new.
Okay. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys, I know with COVID there's no work. Do you still play in a band ever?
Yeah, we play every once in a while down at a bar there in Dothan.
Okay.
But, you know, they're starting to open us up down in Alabama a little bit, so stuff's starting to come in.
Cool. I think it would be pretty funny if we could get you, I don't know, I have to say I have a few members in my band. I used to think they were possessed. I'll bring them down, we'll jam with you, see what you can do with them. If you can't do anything with them, I'm just going to leave them down there. What the hell? They need to see the South a little bit, eat some good barbecue, and know what the hell it's about down there.
Oh, yeah, the South's the only place to live. Only place.
Oh, come on, man. I'm up here in beautiful New York
I'm from New
City.
York.
We're enjoying all the looters, the rioters, all the fun stuff that goes on in Manhattan these days. It's just a
Yeah,
bunch of yucks, I tell you. Yuck a minute up there. I recently
I know.
interviewed. Oh, go ahead.
I know. Every time I go to New York City, which is about once a week, I don't stop at any stop signs or nothing. I just go.
Well,
Get
you
in the
know, if
way.
you're
You
ever
gonna
up
be a
here,
coach.
if you come up here to do one of your, I'm not sure how do we describe it? A paranormal exorcism, if you will.
Well, it just depends.
Investigation.
Yeah, investigations. We investigate graveyards, investigate historic sites, investigate modern houses that people are having trouble with. You know, the further east you go, the more old graveyards that have been destroyed. You build a new house on them and disturb the dead. They're not going to be happy.
Yeah, you should see when I had to wake
Have you
up my
been to
ex-wife in the
St.
morning.
Augustine?
Yeah, I've been in St. Augustine. I've taken the ghost tour and all that. Saw a couple of things, but I lost them pictures when my computer crashed. That was way back in 2007.
Let me ask you this. What is absolutely the most terrifying thing you've ever seen or had happen that just still makes you lose sleep?
Yeah, we was doing a house in a little town called Nicholson, Mississippi. That was a house trailer. We was sitting there discussing things with the lady, and as soon as she said that there's a spirit in that back bedroom, a dish went flying all the way across the house and smashed in the wall behind us. And a couple of cups flew around the house. And then we started to go back there, and they had replaced the door, so the door didn't go all the way to the top of the door jamb. And you could see hanging over the top of the door some claws and two red eyes looking over the top of that door. And we took a couple pictures, which unfortunately I lost in the computer crash. And when we went in there and pulled the carpet back, they had a pentagram that had blood in it on the floor underneath the carpet. And they found two dead bodies in the backyard after they started digging because two children was missing from the community. So,
Wow.
I mean, I didn't see the bodies, but I was glad we was part of the two children being found where they could, family could have closure. They might have never found them if we didn't go in to investigate because they wouldn't have thought of them being behind that one house trailer.
And how was your how did the police react to your efforts? I mean, I'm curious, do you get any pushback from them that they're like, oh, we can do it, we don't need you here? Do you get any of that kind of shit?
No, matter of fact, they called me when children come up missing to see if my psychic friend can locate any children. And they use her in their police investigations, but she works more for me than they do for her, the police. But a lot of times she's helpful.
Well, I'd like to say this. If you're ever here in New Jersey, I'd love to get you and we do some live. We could perhaps go out with you with a camera crew and see what it is you do live and show our fans.
Yeah, that'd be great. Matter of fact, next weekend, I'm going to be doing a graveyard in South Alabama. Hopefully we'll catch something. I mean, a lot of times you do, sometimes you don't, But that's just the luck of the draw, whether they're active at night or whether they're even active in that spot.
I'm curious, when something like this happens, is it the kind of thing that some people, you go in to do this and you've just realized they're completely out of their mind and they have no ghosts, but they just have mental disturbances of some kind? Have you ever gotten to a job, like you've told me sometimes people screw around with you, but have you ever gone into one where they weren't screwing around, they just were kind of crazy and you kind of just, I'm not sure what you could do for them. I know if it was me, I'd try to be sympathetic to what they're going through because gosh forbid, I mean, I know it would terrify me. I've never seen, let me start this by saying I've never seen anything that I couldn't describe I've never seen anything I can describe as paranormal that I just went, oh my God, I can't explain this. that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I can entertain the notion that I'm that I'm lucky, and that I've never had anything in my family or any of my friends. But I mean, how common is this type of ghost activity? I mean, at Halloween, do we have people who are, and I'm not being facetious here, I'm asking an honest question. Do we have some people who end up manifesting things at this time of year because they haven't experienced it before and they're genuinely terrified and they find out someone like you? How does that go? I mean, tell me that about it. Do you ever have people who are just nuts that you go, I can't help them, they're crazy?
I wouldn't say nuts, but we have investigated a couple of houses where when we go in, we ask about the family, who's seen what, we kind of interview them and all, and we ask if they on any medications and this, that, and the other, and if they say, yeah, we look at what medications they're on, and a couple of them have been on hallucinatory drugs that the doctor gave them, and they was seeing it. It was there, but it was from the pills the doctor gave them to cure their cancer or something like that. So they actually saw them, but it wasn't paranormal. And you just have to explain that to them we think it's the medication because we was here 2 nights and we didn't see nothing, and you claim you saw something and we never could see what you saw, so it must be the medication.
I got it. Well,
how often do they see things? How often were they reporting seeing things? How often were they reporting seeing things?
Probably every 2-3 days. I guess it would depend on how bad their disease was bothering them and whether they took one pill too many or whatever. But you got to be sympathetic with people. A lot of people that's got cancer are so close to dying that they can see behind the veil too, even though there's nothing there. If people dying in the hospital, they'll talk to people that's not there because they see the people coming to get them to take them over to the other side, but they're not really there, but the people dying can see them.
Sure. Well, I think, the whole concept of life and death, it figures into whether people believe in the paranormal or not. I mean, there's lots of people who, no matter what, you could show them a ghost biting them on the tail side, and they'd still not believe it was a ghost because they're just wired that way. They fall back on science. But, I'm unsure yet, but I know that you've been doing this a while, and I'd love to go out and try and see what we can see. I think it would be interesting. And I think it would be interesting for the viewers to just go out and actually see what it is that you do. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who present themselves as such, but don't have the experience you've had over the decades doing it. This is not like your first rodeo.
No, I've been doing it since the late 70s, so I pretty well know what I'm doing, but you'll never understand everything. I tell you what, you find a place up there in New Jersey that's been verified as haunted. Give me a date, time. We'll come up there, spend a couple of days in a hotel, and we'll go investigate the place that you found and got permission for us to go to.
Well, you know what, Julie, I think we can make that happen. I know there's a house here that we believe is haunted by a spirit of a Revolutionary War soldier, an American who was hung by the British just about maybe 10 miles north of where I live as the crow flies. And it's like at Halloween, they have a huge festival there, but it's been for centuries or two that they've been seeing this Revolutionary Guard person who was killed by the British hung there, apparently. And I think that would be as good a place as any to start. Go ahead, Julie.
Is this near a fort or a lighthouse?
It's near a fort.
That you're speaking of?
Yes. Well, I mean, the lighthouse here in Sandy Hooks. This is called the Spyglass House. It's in Monmouth County, New Jersey. And it's a beautiful little house. They made it into a park. I tell you what, if I was a multimillionaire like Howard Stern or my brother, I would buy it and just have it because it's a beautiful, like 20-acre plot on the ocean or on the bay. And it would be a hell of a place to live, ghosts or no ghosts. Let me ask you something. If I was hypothetically, let's say I bought this house. Do you find that some people will buy a house just because it is haunted?
Oh, yeah.
Or so people
haunted houses go for at least 10 to 25% more of the actual real estate value because of the intrigue and the chance to make it into a tourist attraction, to make money, bed and breakfast, come live in the haunted house, and this, that, and the other.
That's pretty cool. I know. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jules.
That just sounds akin to a murder in the house. That it's something that the real estate agent has to, I
don't think they have to disclose murder.
Tell you about.
I don't think they.
Yes, they do.
You have to tell people if the house has any paranormal activity, and if you don't, you have to rebuy back that house and give them a profit for not telling them in the contract there's paranormal activity in the house.
I have to say,
that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It brings a smile to me because I'm thinking if I have a house and even if it isn't haunted and I'm selling it, I'm going to be like, look, there was a murder here 40 years ago. In fact, you'll get a kick out of this, John. I used to film The Sopranos right here in my neighborhood. Down the street from my house remember in The Sopranos, they had a beach house in New Jersey?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that beach house is just down the street from me. I can look out my window upstairs and see it. And that house, when I drive by it, I always go, oh, it's Carmela and Tony are coming down for the weekend. Well, when James Gandolfini died, I decided that I would like to tell some of my elected friends and officials that if they want to get tourism up, they have to say, I don't know what's going on up there in Seabright and Atlantic or Highlands rather, but at night people are hearing James Gandolfini and seeing him walk on the bar between the ocean. There's a big stone wall. And I said, if you want to get people coming to town, tell them we're seeing James Gandolfini's ghost at night, and we'll get a tour group to go out there every night, charge them $50 a head, and they'll come out. And even if they don't see anything, they'll have been there. They'll see the house. Maybe we can get a Sopranos guy to ride around with us, but we'll hire one of the Sopranos guys to drive the bus, and I'll be there for creative. I don't know what you'd call it. I'm there for comedic activities. But,
your comedic relief.
What did you say?
Be a good thing
the comedic relief. You add levity to the bad situation.
Yes, I have comic relief coming on board. And I mean, I don't know, John. I think it would be fun, but I'm the kind of guy who I'm just creeped out enough by thinking about some ghost haunting me. The closest thing I can come to is my second wife, but other than that, I swear I hear her screaming through the trees at night. It's wake up! Anyway, I have to tell you now, that's a girl. We got a candidate for you. We got one woman who needs a damn exorcism, and I'll attest to that. She's haunted by something, and I don't know what it is, but I'd pay you well to get rid of that shit. I'm sorry, I'm being
Bring her
facetious.
along. Bring her along.
We'll bring her along. Actually,
we'll get
Julie,
rid of it.
I'm going to let you handle that part of the show. You and Strega can go out on the walk together. And hey, John, you got anybody down there that you need to get married? Somebody you need marrying. You got a cousin or something who drinks too much and just, maybe I don't know. I'm worn out. All my cousins, they met her, so they won't marry her now.
Well, I hear you. All my grandchildren are female. That's age ready to be married. So I don't think that'll work.
Darn, so I couldn't use my standard line from Blues Brothers. How much for the little one? I'm sorry. Terrible, man. You know that. But it's all in fun. And, I have to tell you, John, you've been on here with us a couple of times, and we enjoy having you. And in all seriousness, you're fun. You're a great sport. You you have a good sense of humor. And I think that's the most important thing in all people, other than love of music, love of fellow man, but just to love everybody. And I mean, that's really the best way to be. Hopefully, if we all live a good life, hopefully we won't have any visits by any of these haints or whatever people call them. I mean, have you
Right.
ever had anyone come to your home, or the question is have you ever been followed or had nightmares or any paranormal activity at home after you've been doing one of these, gigs?
No, not really. Every once in a while you'll dream about something and then you'll go do the investigation, but you've already dreamed about the investigation. But I've never
Wow,
had nightmares after an investigation.
interesting. Have you ever just, in a hypothetical sense, have you ever been just like out traveling, for example, and felt some spiritual entity at a certain place that you're just happened upon by chance? Have you ever been in that situation where you went somewhere and you could just feel either the evil or the unresolved, whatever ghosts upset about, being killed in some cases, or whatever the reason that they're troubled and still hanging around? I mean, why does a ghost, if he's not malevolent and he's just a ghost, he's out there, he goes, plays golf on Mondays, does all the usual stuff. If he's not a bad ghost, can they, I don't know, can they get along with friends? Like if you have a house and you have a ghost, can it be a non-harmful entity that people
Oh
get
yeah,
used to?
most human spirits, as we call them, they're benign. They just want to be recognized, let you know they're there. They're there to protect you, help you, or whatever. It's
Hmm.
the non-human entities or the diabolical entities that cause all the trouble. But if Grandma come to see you, Grandma's just coming to say hi, or something bad might be going to happen, and she'd be like, "Well, avoid this by doing this, this, and this."
Hmm.
Most human spirits are just nice, friendly spirits that are just hanging around and chilling.
I think it
Can
would
I
be
ask
fun if
you?
we, go ahead.
Can I ask? Okay, so I am an empath. So as an empath, do you find that you have more activity around an empath than you would? I mean, because I know you said you work with mediums, so it's the same traits, similar area, but do you find that you have more investigations with people who are empaths than not?
Yes, if we bring an empath or medium with us, the chance of contacting somebody goes up at least 30 to 35%. Even if the place isn't haunted, some spirit from miles away may sense the empath or medium and come over to where you're at, even though they was miles away.
That could be pretty
Wow.
scary if you, I mean, honestly, that could be pretty creepy if you didn't know. And all of a sudden you start having, I have to tell you, if I had paranormal activity going, I'd probably call you first. I mean, it's not like I'm going to call the cops. What am I going to say to them? They're going to be like, "Oh, you crazy. That's that nutball up on the hill. He might be on drugs. God knows what's, in fact, he's so weird, he doesn't even need drugs." I mean,
Yeah,
what can I tell you? Um, so,
yeah. A lot of
um,
times the police believe whether they put it in their official reports or not. They'll say something to you, like, "Yeah, I saw that, but I can't report it. It cost me my job."
sure,
They'd
sure.
actually see what you
Yeah, they're a bunch
saw.
of cowards anyway, so they will never talk.
Right, right. Yeah, I think the police or the army that they're going to use at the end of the world to control the people. That's what I think
Nope,
about
never going to happen. You know why? Because we have the Second Amendment right. The minute one of those motherfuckers rolls up
Oh,
on
easy,
my
easy.
property,
We're
guess
on
what?
easy, easy. I know. I
Hey, I'm
swear
just
to you all the
saying.
time.
Oh,
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
too.
we
I
got
know.
the
It's like
second we got the Second Amendment right now, but that don't mean we're gonna have it
yeah, and that's
tomorrow.
the one thing.
Especially if
Well, we got to fight for that.
especially if my man loses, which I don't see a chance in hell him losing the White House. hopefully when he leaves the White House in 2024, his son will move right into his footsteps. There you go.
Well, I'm going to stay aloof from this conversation. And I just say that not because I may disagree or agree with you. I don't go there because, frankly, I'll end up pissing somebody off one way or another. And I can do that pretty well often without even trying, just by saying the wrong thing. So I try to keep my political things on the down low, because anybody who knows me knows what I think. And with today, with the world being, there's so many crazy people involved in politics on both sides that I just tend to run from politicians. None of them, they affect my life, but I worry about my life. I don't worry about them fixing anything for me. And so as a result, I don't know what to say other than both sides get the winner they desire and deserve. And we'll see what happens on this. We've got a week out.
Deserve.
We'll talk about this after the show, Julie.
Yeah, I got enough weapons in my house. I can take care of myself.
Let me ask you this: is there any type, and this is half serious but half goofing? Is there any personal protection available for you if you have a sudden ghost encounter? What can you do? Do you surrender? How do you fight it off? Do I pick up my grandfather's crucifix that was in his coffin? I have it on the wall over here. Would I pick it up and tell him to back the hell off, or what would I do? Is there anything like that, or is it something I don't understand? I'm not making fun at all.
Right. Yeah, well, it depends on your spiritual beliefs, I guess. If you're a Native American, they have certain rituals they use to ward off evil spirits. Christianity has certain. You just have to go with what your faith tells you to go with and believe in it, and not have an object that would be a doorway where this entity has the legal right to come into your life because you gave him that right by opening the door yourself with your free will.
Mm-hmm.
So, you play with Ouija boards, have seances, do necromancy and all that stuff out in the graveyard. When a spirit attaches to yourself, well, there ain't nothing you can do. You invited it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the people who, I saw The Omen back when I was a kid. I was about 14 or 15, the version with Gregory Peck. And after that, anything occult just scared the crap out of me. I mean, I was like from 8 years old until I was in my teens before that. Even now, when I see it, I watch it, the old movie, the old version of it. It just scares the crap out of you. I mean, the kid looks like
what movie?
The Omen.
The original.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. Damien.
The original Omen. Great piece of horror. Excellent. Really great movie for Halloween, I have to say, if anybody's out there. And to Craig Coleman, that was my half-brother. He's got a fixation that he thinks he's actually Howard Stern. I don't know. It could be, he'll come back at some point. You never know where he's going to do. He's kind of nuts. But,
hell,
Craig,
I'd like to see you get Brother Craig on here performing live on your show.
Well, I'm going to see what we can do. We'll get the brother on.
That guitar wail, I bet.
Well, I used to have hair like that, which is pretty scary when I think about it. I got to drag up some of my pictures from being a young doofus. I had some bad haircuts over the years. But at any rate, in fact, once my band, I shaved my head, and I went to the gig via the back door, the way I always went in. And I had, long hair. I shaved it right down to the bone. My band was looking at me, and my guitar player actually coined a term for me after I got my head shaved. When I go on stage, Lee, this is a shout out to Lee Scherer of the Shake Society in Tampa, still out pounding the nail. And guys, get a new sign, man. We bought that 20 years ago. You guys are so cheap, man. Get a new sign. I'm harassing them. But anyhow, Lee would call me the ain't he purty Reverend Neely E. Vannerty, the man who makes his mama cry. So every night when I went on stage for about 10 years, Lee would turn around and he'd go, "Hi, Neely, you know what time it is?" And I'd go, "No, what time is it, Lee?" And he'd go, it's time to announce the band. And who's our special boy? And I'd be like, I don't know. Who is it? He'd go, live with Neil Van Erty, the Reverend Amy Purdy, Neil Van Erty, the man who made his mama cry. And everybody in the audience would be cracking up and looking at me. And then when I go up, we get off, I go wander around. People are like, why do you make your mom cry? What kind of asshole are you? And then what had happened was I shaved my head and I told my dad the night before. And he goes, oh man, your mom's going to flip. And I said, oh, she'll be okay. And I said, I'm going to come by in the morning and have coffee like I usually did on the way to the vet clinic. Excuse me. So I walk in my parents. My dad sees me. He's walking through the lobby, and he says, take up your hat real quick. Let me see. And I pull my hat up, and he goes, oh, Jesus Christ. At that point, my mom appears in the window where they take the dogs in, and she looks at me. She goes, take off the hat. And I go, okay. I pulled it off, and she just looks at me, and she starts crying. And I felt so bloody awful and terrible. And then I told the band about it. And, of course, they crucified me for at least 5 or 6 years after that, my stage name. And I still use it. But listen, I know you've got stuff to do. I can tell your location now. So, John, it's been great having you, as always, man. I'll be calling you back. And if you go out on anything interesting this week, you can always call us. You can get on. I'll make a day for you anytime you want. Just give us a call, and we'll talk again. And, we'll see what happens. If we can get you up here, we'll go to the Spy House, or we'll go somewhere that I'll find a place that is known to be haunted here, and we'll go check it out. I think it would be great fun.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. We've done a couple live shows, so it won't be nothing new to anybody. So
Right.
maybe we'll luck out, and maybe we won't.
Either way, you never know if you don't try, man. I'm in this life, I will try anything once, maybe more if I like it. You never know. Okay, well, listen, John, thanks for joining. We're going to wrap this up. For everybody who's watching, after this show is over, we were going to have many guests on from Frank Zappa's band, and we have the interviews, but we've not been able to edit them in time. So I'm going to host a watch party in the next 15 minutes. It's going to go on live at 11. So anybody who's watching this or who likes the show, we'll be back on shortly, and we'll be doing we're going to be interviewing Andre Chamonix. 6 hours and 54 minutes of remaining drive time.
All right, well, I really appreciate you having me on here, and maybe one day I'll get to Tampa and see Julie live on stage somewhere.
Absolutely. And Julie, she looks like such a mild-mannered, nice little, grain-fed, wonderful woman. And yet, lurking beneath that is the heaviest metal bitch you've ever seen in the world. When she gets on her gear, all I can tell you is watch out, man. She's deadly on the bass. She can kill at 50 feet. In fact, if she gives you the look, give him the death metal look, Jules. Show me your war face.
I don't even know what that is.
Come on, show me your war face. There you go. Look at that. Isn't she great?
Yeah, she is. I'd love to see her in concert.
Yeah, you would. And I'll tell you this, we'd like to see you too. So I know that you get down to Florida pretty regularly, so you never know. Maybe we'll find something down in Florida, and I'll manifest myself down there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll have to do a really cool intro where we have like dry ice and I blow up and all of a sudden I'm there.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm in Florida every week.
Well, listen, I love talking to you. You're great fun, and I hope to meet you one day. We're gonna keep talking, and as you get stuff, bring us up. We'd love to have you back.
I sure will. Every investigation I get, I'll send you one I get. You can decide what you want to do with it.
Excellent. And for everybody watching, you're on Live with Neve. Go ahead, Julie.
I was just saying thank you to John. That's all. Thank you for your time. We'll see you again soon.
Well, thank you all so much for allowing me to get this exposure. It's really going to help. I know it will.
Well, I hope so. And for anybody out there, wherever you're at, nationwide, he's like that ZZ Top song. We're bad, 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 bad. We're nationwide. any rate, that's my poor attempt at the Reverend Billy Graham. Oh my God, the Reverend Billy Gibbons. So I got confused. The Reverend Billy Gibbons, guitar player for ZZ Top. And we hope to have him on live with Neve. All right, everybody, we're going to be packing up this show. We're going to be dragging all our videos over to a live watch party for the next hour. We're going to go through Frank Zappa's band members, their thoughts on Halloween. So it's coming up. Go to my Facebook page, look for the live sign-in information. Sign in. Tell me your best Zappa tales, your favorite memories of Frank. I know you're going to love all the people I have on. I have Jerry Outlaw. I have Andre Chaminade, who's the guitarist for Project Object and guitar tech for many people, including Yes, Greg Lake, and too many, Adrian Ballou and many others. I'll have him on. All I can tell you is everybody couldn't talk on the same day, so we're not able to do this live. But if you'll follow me over to Live with Neve, we're going to have a live show that should make you happy. Talk to you soon, everybody. Thank you to Julie. Thank you to my brother, Coneel. I don't know where he went. He took his hair and went. I swear when he left the house yesterday, the guy looked like me. He had short hair. His relative. I apologize to everyone. I have my post-COVID haircut, which one of my friends, Rick, has tried diligently to fix. He's been unable to do anything with it. So I'm hoping my brother Coneel will come by and he can give me some hair tips. What do you think, Julie? Maybe I need a new makeover or something.
Yeah, no. Maybe Coneel would be the one. I don't know. Does he work at a hair salon?
No, but he's dated so many hairstylists that he's got away with that kind of thing.
Okay. He sounds perfectly qualified to me.
You thought I was a weird guy. Wait till you meet Coneel. He's just completely off his chain. Some of the people who've met him in the past are like, how can Neil have such a weird brother? I thought he was completely out there. But this guy, holy shit. Anyway, we're live with Neve. We're going to a live thing on Facebook. It's Friday. It's going to be Halloween tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a great day. If you like what we do, please like and share on YouTube. And last piece, there's 4,500 people who seem to enjoy my blend of sick, and weird. So if they all like me, at least half of you guys, if I can get you to join my YouTube page, then I'll have the luxury of making 0.03 cents for every cent. It'll take 17,000 views to make 17 bucks roughly. So all I can tell you is you don't want me and Julie out on the street having to sell ourselves at the mercy of the world. We're just like two babes from Toyland wandering alone and tortured in this lonely world. In fact, I don't know. I feel some sort of spirit manifesting as we speak. I don't know, man. Julie, it might be your turn. You kind of got that metal look to you. I don't know. You might be. Are you manifesting?
I don't know. Something seems to be. I don't know. I don't think so.
I just felt something rubbing my leg. I don't know what was going on down there. Any rate, join us on the Live with Neve. Yes. Yes. We're off.
Oh, sorry.
Are we off? Are we off? You suck.
No.
All right, people, logging off. Live with Neve. Stick around. I'm going to be on my Neil Van Erdy page and the Live with Neve page, showing you Julie's tongue. All right, everybody. Live with Neve. Come on back. We'll see you on my Facebook page for the real event. And you got to sign a blood oath. It's Halloween, man. It's the only way to get in. All right. I'm going to end this broadcast. Julie, you think hard about what you can manifest in the next show.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. And we thank our Kinsey Paranormal investigator. If you need any questions about the Kinsey